I've got to tell you, I'm feeling quite smug, quite happy with myself. Middle of load shedding, and what am I doing? I'm recording an episode of Keeping Up with the Kalvaris. I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic. Why am I? I'm thinking back to 1979. By 1979, I was in grade 2. Everybody I knew had a video machine. In those days, it was the Betamax. VHS, I don't think VHS had come along yet. Everyone got their video machine in 1978. They were like watching Grease. Grease came out in 78. And I was still wearing my black Grease t-shirt the next year, 79. We got the video machine. We were always the last people to get the video machine. We got the video machine. We were the last to get the creepy crawly. I think we only got a creepy crawly in the 90s. Believe it or not. Can you believe it? Here I am. I'm recording this show in the middle of load shedding. I thought to myself, what positivity can I take out of this load shedding? I told somebody we got good weather. We got wonderful, with all the tourists, all the problems that we have. Isn't our weather just wonderful? But another thing, you can have an inverter. Don't ask me what they cost. Very fortunate, very lucky. Our father-in-law, my father-in-law, Bernice's father, got us an inverter. Not a big fancy schmancy one, but good enough to keep the computer on, to keep the Wi-Fi on. Isn't that, I can't tell you, it couldn't have happened at a better time. We've only had it for just over a week. Because, as you know, President Ramaphosa is very concerned. Quite frankly, he's shocked. And he said something else quite profound. Or was it Gwede Matashe, or was it Naledi Pandor? Apparently, this load shedding is very bad for South Africa. Well, President Ramaphosa, he's having another emergency. He's got an ESCOM emergency committee. That's what we need, more committees. Isn't that wonderful? So I'm just feeling very blessed. I know most South Africans do not have inverters and generators and solar electricity and that kind of thing. So I'm feeling very blessed, and I'm not going to take this for granted. It's just wonderful. Did a bit of a focus group on the show. I was told in my kitchen we had a focus group in the kitchen. When I say focus group, it's focus on one person. In case you didn't, that's my focus group. I can only get one person. Now, focus groups are anonymous. He says he's not interested in my personal life. He doesn't care about my colon. He wants me to bring up, talk about stories, come up with, talk about something that's happened, and give my opinion about it. Well, you got to have a very high opinion of yourself. You got to be very confident, and might I say slightly arrogant, to have an opinion on what is going on. And it's tricky. I don't want to always go there. Look what happened. Look what happened with the Fabelmans movie. Can you believe it? Look how well the Fabelman movie, the Steven Spielberg, I carried on and on about it previously, what a terrible movie it was. Look what happened. He won all these awards at the Fabelman won awards at the Golden Globes. So when things like that happen, you got to swallow your pride. It's called humility. You got to accept, hey, maybe I'm not a movie expert. Maybe I don't know about movies. Well, I do. But that's my own personal. I need to accept that the people at the Golden Globes know better than me. Hey? I suppose that's just the way it is. So I've just got to accept that The Fabelmans is a good movie. I still don't think it's a good movie, but I won't criticize The Fabelmans again. I just won't do that. But, let me take this opportunity. Now and again, I will recommend a movie. This is an old movie. It's from 2007, but it's worth watching. I've seen it before, but I started watching it again last night. Superbad. Superbad. With Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill and the little athlete who impregnated the young girl in Juno, Michael Cera. Yes! Michael Cera is always the same character like Hugh Grant. They're the same character in all the movies. They're not really actors. Well, their title is actor, but are they really acting? Not really. But anyway, they've done well. Who am I to criticize? Maybe one day Michael Cera will win the Oscar. Maybe he'll go to acting school and he'll learn to act in different characters. Hugh Grant, not so much. I think he's happy. Hugh Grant, he's not complaining. He's a happy chappy. Okay, so we had that load. But then I had another focus group. I looked on another scientific research. I looked on Facebook, and I got as much as 2 favorable reviews of the last episode. People were happy. They gave a smiley face and a thumbs up. Somebody even said excellent. Look, they're biased. These are people that know me. So, in all seriousness, so I took, jokes aside, I took what the one focus group said, the kitchen focus group. I took what he said to heart, to a degree. I've just got to be, taking an event or something that's happened, I've just got to be more, what's the word? I'm trying to find a word. Okay, there's a better word for this, so I don't know the word. So you know when you don't know the word, so you come up with an explanation. I'm going to come up with a more thorough method of deciding what event or story to follow. I'm going to be more discriminatory. Oh, I'm going to utilize more discretion. How about that? So I saw a little thing that happened where this one DA guy, I think Ian Cameron, and then the one guy, the guy from the Patriotic Town, he's the mayor at Beaufort West, Gayton McKenzie. So Gayton McKenzie said, children of illegal people who are not South African citizens, that are in South Africa illegally, those children must not be allowed into schools. They must not be taught. And then Ian Cameron from the DA, he said, I agree with Gayton McKenzie. And then I think another guy, I'm not going to mention his name because I could be wrong. He said, I agree with these two. And I just thought to myself, where is the humanity? Their argument is that our schools are full, there isn't space for South African children, and therefore you cannot allow these children of illegal parents to take up places in schools. But maybe I'm being idealistic, but first of all, we shouldn't be in this situation where there aren't places for South African kids. So that situation shouldn't exist. So that's a terrible example. It's not a solution. The solution is to have enough schools and have enough places for South African kids. The solution to help the situation is not to disallow other certain children from being taught. But that's just the one practical, logistical opinion on that. But what about simple humanity? Where is your humanity? Would you vote for these horrible people? Would you vote for politicians who display this complete inhumanity? But then it goes deeper than that. I really feel it goes deeper than that. Look at the history of South Africa, which people don't care about, they forget about, or they just never knew in the first place. You know, the history of South Africa, lots of countries, many countries, not just African states, Scandinavian countries, helped South Africans change this country, turn this country towards a democratic future. There were illegal South Africans who were in exile, living in other countries. They were looked after. So now, all these years later, we must, children, I mean, can you look at a 6-year-old child, Ian, whatever your name is, and Gaten McKenzie? Could you, it's easy to hide behind Twitter. I'm on Twitter, I'm a big boy, I'm a man, I'm on Twitter. Can you seriously look at the face of a 6-year-old child and say to that child, no school for you, your parents are illegals, go away? Could you ask? You know what, they probably could. Horrible, horrible creatures. You know, we got to find our humanity somewhere. This world, we in such stoch. There's so many problems. Got to start somewhere. You know what? One of the golden rules of what I'm trying to do here, and don't pontificate. Don't sit on a tower or a higher seat, or the tennis umpires. I mustn't talk down to you and pretend I'm all holier than thou and I'm so wonderful, I'm brilliant. I know I'm not that. So I know that I'm not a great. But can we try and make an effort? This friend of mine, she used to drive to work, and she used to see this homeless guy. She used to help him. She helped him for months and months. Then he asked her for money, and then he wanted more money. Blah, blah, blah. Bada bing, bada boom. To cut a long story short, she must have given him at least 2,000 rand over a couple of weeks or months. Turns out the guy was mad, and he was a complete con artist. And while she was telling me this story, I thought to myself, gee whiz, I don't know whether I must feel bad that I would never, ever have dreamed of ever helping this guy. So I must feel bad about that. Or on the other hand, should I feel, oh, well, I'm clever, I didn't fall for that. I don't fall for this. I don't fall for this. Huh? I think maybe that example was taking be kind a little bit too far. I just think, try and help where you can. Try to be kind where you can. And for goodness sake, let children be educated. I don't care if they're from Timbuktu or wherever. I just think if everyone tried to be nice. There's a sign in Johannesburg on Oxford Road near the intersection with Glenelg, across the road from the McDonald's, be kind. Be kind. It was implemented by this Jewish group, organization called Chabad. Chabad, not Chabad. You want to clear your throat. Chabad. Be kind, but you've got to be careful. Yes, be kind, but don't be a pushover. This friend of mine, she feels a bit, silly. So look, give the odd car guard money, tip the petrol attendant, but you know what? Times are tough. Can't always do everything all the time. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but you get the gist. Anyway, things are getting, as you can see, it's getting a bit dark. The light is not good, so I'm let's stop now before we get hurt.